Hi guys, I didn't create Supernova to help women lose weight. I created it because I was tired of watching them lose themselves. Hey guys, welcome back to the Healthy Pod. I want to start today with a question that might feel a little uncomfortable. How many times have you looked in the mirror or stepped on a scale or tried on a pair of jeans and thought, I am doing everything right and nothing is working? If that's you, first of all, I am giving you the biggest virtual hug ever. And second, I need you to hear this with your whole nervous system, your whole mind, your whole body. You are not the problem. So, as you guys know, my name is Nicole Peckerman. I'm the founder of Health Collective, former corporate marketing exec turned peptide princess. And for years, I did trend forecasting for billion-dollar brands, figuring out what people would want, buy, and obsess over years before it hit the shelves. And then I turned that lens into something way more important: women's health, hormones, weight, and metabolism. And what I saw made me furious. Women were blaming themselves for failing diets that were never designed for their biology. Women were angry that they needed to get smaller and smaller and smaller instead of focusing on their health. Programs were built around male data: eat less, move more, hustle for your worth. Meanwhile, your cortisol was through the roof, your muscle mass is dropping, your hormones are literally flatlining or spiking or storming, your gut health is wrecked, and women, we are thinking we're broken. And honestly, that is the world Supernova was born into. So I have gotten so many messages from you asking me to tell you a little bit more about Supernova. Of course, we have our bi-monthly webinars, but I really wanted to do an episode today that's really, really special to me because I'm going to take you a little bit behind the scenes of why I created Supernova, what's actually happening in your body when you feel stuck, and how this reset is different from really anything you've ever tried. So if you've ever thought, gosh, I just want my spark back, this one's for you. So take a breath. Let's talk about the reset that changes everything. Okay, let's start with the part that nobody says out loud. Most women I work with are not lazy. They are not undisciplined. They are not a lost cause. They're actually the most hardworking, over-delivering humans on the planet. They're walking 10,000 steps a day. They're doing Peloton rides in the dark at 6 a.m. They're skipping breakfast. They're chugging coffee. They're eating a sad salad at their desk, no protein, low calorie. And then they're white knuckling their way through evenings, and that's when the cravings hit. And they say, maybe I just don't have willpower. No, guys. If willpower worked, every woman listening to this podcast would be an Olympic athlete by now. So the reason you're feeling stuck isn't because you're weak or you're lazy or you have no willpower. It's because your body is actually brilliant. Your body is trying to protect you, and it's been sending you signals for years. Fatigue that doesn't go away with a weekend of rest, bloating that comes and goes no matter what you eat, weight that sticks to your midsection like glue, sleep that's shallow or broken, brain fog, mood swings, that feeling that you're just kind of off. None of that is random. Again, none of that is random. Underneath all of that, there are usually a few key themes. Number one, chronic undereating and overstressing. You know, the 1,200 calorie diets, the 800 calorie diets, the intermittent fasting plus high intensity workouts. I am guilty of that. I have been guilty of that. And yeah, I'll just have nothing for breakfast, coffee for breakfast. Thank God for body aminos because I get my 30 grams of protein before I work out. But your body experienced that as a threat. So your metabolism did exactly what it was supposed to do: slow down to save you. So number 2, hormones that have been ignored for years. So perimenopause, cycle changes, thyroid shifts, insulin resistance, that is one of the biggest ones. These things don't just show up overnight. It's a slow build. And by the time you notice them, your body has been whispering them for a long time, and suddenly it's shouting and you don't know why. And so number 3 is a nervous system that is absolutely fried. I know mine is. So we're talking constant notifications, emotional load, invisible labor, anxiety, never-ending to-do lists. Does that sound like you? I mean, I know that we are so busy. It is never ending. We're always tending to something or someone and sacrificing ourselves. The nervous system is like, you want me to burn fat and build muscle while we're in full survival mode? Ma'am, no thank you. Ma'am, that's not what we're doing right here. So you need to give your body some grace. And number 4, gut and liver overworked and under supported between stress, processed foods, alcohol, medications, and just life. Life is lifing, and your gut is trying to keep up. Your liver is doing overtime, detoxing hormones, and somewhere in there, your body is like, we're just hanging on, but thriving? Not right now, we can't. All of these things mean something. So when you step on that scale and you say, what's wrong with me? My honest answer is absolutely nothing. You're not broken. You're biointelligent. Isn't that such an interesting way to look at what's happening? You're working out more than ever. You're doing your 10,000 steps. You're under eating. Your body's under incredible stress. Your mind's under incredible stress. Your gut is under incredible stress. But you're expecting your body to do what you want it to do when it is under that much stress. So your biointelligent body is doing exactly what it's designed to do, to keep you alive under stress. Supernova is about taking you out of survival mode and into a state where your metabolism can finally exhale. So that is where it all comes in. So what is Supernova really? Let me tell you what it's not first. So it is not another 30-day shred. It is not just a cut out the carbs plan. It is not a 1,000 calorie detox. And it's not you need more discipline, you need to work out more challenge. And honestly, if another woman is handed another 800 calorie and vibes as a plan, a digital plan, I might add, I actually might scream. So Supernova is a metabolic reset protocol that is designed specifically for women in the real world with real stress, real hormones, and real lives. It sits at this intersection of metabolic science, peptide therapy, hormone literacy, gut health, nervous system support, and sometimes most importantly, mindset. Everything we do falls into 3 big buckets. Bucket 1 is restore your metabolism. We look at muscle mass, we look at strength, mitochondrial function, your internal energy factories, your insulin sensitivity, super important, and where your body is chronically inflamed. We use nutrition, movement, and sometimes peptide support to bring your metabolism back online, not with panic, but with precision. We try our best to detoxify the liver, the kidneys, so that your body can excrete everything it doesn't need in the best way possible, and you can reset your body into this amazing new state of homeostasis. So this is where a lot of peptides come in for many of our Supernova women. So again, everything is optional, and we do a lot of things from nourishment, from real ingredients and real food. But if there's openness to peptide like CJC or MOTS or BPC, it's a really good thing. So CJC 1295 supports growth hormone and muscle repair. MOTS-C helps your cells use energy better, and this is where you can get rid of a lot of fat instead of muscle. BPC 157 heals the gut. It repairs muscles and tissues. GHKCU is for hair, nails, skin, tissue repair. And NAD is really all about cellular aging, energy, and clarity. So I like to say peptides are like sending smart little text messages to your cells saying, hey babe, we're safe. You can repair now. So they're not magic, but when paired with the right habits, they are a force multiplier. So the second bucket is balance your hormones and your gut. So we check in on how your cycle is behaving, how your sleep is doing, your stress load, your digestion, and your blood sugar patterns. And then we strategically use food, fiber, hydration, movement, and timing to support hormone clearance, progesterone support, estrogen balance, adrenal recovery, and of course, gut repair. So because you cannot have a happy metabolism sitting on top of an inflamed gut, we really need to get to the core of that. And of course, the third bucket is rewiring your beliefs and habits. So Supernova is not just like, do these things and it'll work. We actually work with you and we work on the guilt that you might feel around rest, the shame that you've internalized about your body, the all or nothing mindset that keeps you stuck. And we shift you from a focus of, I have to punish my body into submission to, I get to partner with my body and design a life that it thrives in. Those are two completely different things. And what's really important is we hack your habits. If you have habits that you just cannot seem to break, we work with you to break them and to appropriately habit stack things that you want to do to feel better, to look better, to live better. So when those three buckets line up, your metabolism, your hormones and gut, and your mindset, that is when Supernova happens and the glow comes back. So really the side effect is the weight loss. You know, it's not really the first thing that we look at, but yes, in many, many of the cases, we do prescribe GLP-1s because they're necessary to have your body let go of the weight. And they actually help with inflammation, lowering cortisol, improving brain fog, improving sleep habits. One of the first things people tell me, and I've shared this with before, is, oh my God, I'm finally sleeping better. And oh my God, I can actually focus. I have no brain fog. So that's why it's super important to dig really into the functional lab work, the Dutch tests that we do. We also look at your blood work from your physicians, and then we layer on habits and appropriate protocols. And also we work with you as your accountability partner to actually ensure that you're feeling good. There's no guilt. There's no shame. There's no all or nothing mindset. So that is super important for living life after the Supernova program. So one thing I like to share is just stories from Supernova. I want to bring this out of theory and into real women's lives. I am definitely one of those women. I was feeling stuck. I was feeling like I just couldn't lose those last 5 pounds. I wasn't sure what to do. I was, eating less, working out more. I mean, working out like 2-3 times a day more, not a week, a day. So it really impacted me. And then when I started to understand that it wasn't my fault and that there was so much stress on my body, in my system, with my hormones, with inflammation, with cortisol levels, I started to understand I couldn't possibly be doing more. I needed to change something. And that something was to approach it from a functional health and scientific perspective, to nourish my body from the inside out and to actually support my body with peptides that it requires. And that is not shameful. There's no shame in that game. So, I'll change the names for privacy, but the stories that I'm sharing are real. So first is a patient named Luna. Luna came to us exhausted. She was a busy professional, had around like 15 to 20 pounds to lose. She couldn't lose it. Her doctor had just told her she was pre-diabetic. Her A1C was 6.2. Honestly, she was terrified because it's really scary thinking about living life with diabetes. I should know. We live it all the time with my son. So she was really terrified, and she was also under eating dramatically, overworking, high stress, and honestly, she'd completely disconnected from her body's hunger cues. Like there were no natural innate hunger cues happening. It was all emotional eating and stress eating. And within Supernova, we supported her with a structured nutrition plan that didn't starve her. I put her on GLP-1, and it was a peptide and GLP compatible strategy. Of course, we focused on movement, walking, strength, recovery. We focused on why she was eating emotionally, and we cut that habit out and added in habits like chatting with your best friend or walking a little bit more. And of course, we added in fiber and microbiome support and nervous system work. And so within a few months, she lost about 15, 17 pounds. But more importantly, guys, her A1C dropped from 6.2 to 5.1. She was no longer pre-diabetic. I cannot tell you how many people I work with that are just teetering on this edge, and they'll do anything to turn back into this place where they are insulin sensitive, they do not need to go on metformin, they are not pre-diabetic, and this was where she was at. So she went from being pre-diabetic to metabolically empowered. And she messaged me and she said, I finally feel like I have a future where my health isn't constantly in the back of my mind. It's just my new lifestyle. So I love that for her. So then I have a patient named Kay, and she had tried everything. She felt like her body had betrayed her. She was super young and she was in a new relationship, and she was over 50 pounds above where she felt good. And she had just recently added on a bunch of pounds because, you know, her and her new boyfriend were going out to eat all the time and, you know, packing on a few of those pounds. And so she had been told for 6 years that she was pre-diabetic. So what did we do? We definitely focused on sugar stability. We put her on a GLP-GIP. We really focused on a muscle building, wellness, fitness protocol. We gave her some peptide support for cellular energy and real food that fit her life, her lifestyle, and also her ability to go out all the time still with the new BF, of course. And we had a bunch of accountability sessions, emotional support around identity, because when you've been the one who always struggles with weight for years, it kind of becomes part of who you think you are, but it's not really who you are. So over time, she lost 50 pounds. And for the first time in 6 years, she was no longer pre-diabetic. And guys, you should see her at the gym. She is lifting heavy. She is feeling good. She is shining from the inside out. When I see before pictures, honestly, like her eyes are kind of sad and glazed. And now her eyes are shining with confidence and happiness. And that means everything. She kind of said to me, I feel like I got my life back. So, you know, it's not a jean size story. It's not skinnier the better, but she is definitely wearing crop tops now. I must tell you, this is a lifespan journey. And, you know, I recently posted online about my Russian speaking patient, Svetlana. You know, Russian women are super interesting. They're very always put together, you know, always hair and makeup and like cute clothes, even just to go to the grocery store. And Svetlana was a little bit older, had gone through menopause. You know, she was juggling her family, her kids who had become older, but still kind of needed some assistance from her. And, you know, we put her on a GLP. We put her on some NAD for energy. And of course, the fact that I was able to communicate with her and just culturally connect with her was huge. And she told me in her testimonial that with Supernova, she finally felt like someone that she saw her whole life, and it wasn't just a number on the chart. And she finally felt like that woman pre-menopause that she used to be. And she was full of energy. And, you know, she said, you didn't just help me lose weight, you helped me come back to myself. And those are literally the comments that give me life. So these are women I think about when I say Supernova is not just a program, it's kind of a homecoming. You're kind of coming home to your body. You're feeling good in your own skin. And at the end of the day, it's not just, 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. It is a way, a method to change everything in your life to align with exactly the life you want to lead, which is so, so exciting. So at the end of the day, before I break down the structure, I'm going to take a super quick break from our sponsors. All right, so we're back and we're going to break down the structure because I know some of you are like, okay, but what actually happens in this thing? So Supernova has 3 tiers. And if you've been around my world, you know their names. So there's Ignite, there's Transform, there's Elevate. Ignite is for the woman who's like, my energy is low, my clothes kind of feel tight, my labs might be a little off, and I need a structured reset that doesn't wreck my life. So in Ignite, we focus on a metabolic food framework. We eat for radiance. We have a gut and fiber integration, hydration and mineral basics, and movement that fits your life. Often there will be a GLP-1 or peptide integration prescribed if appropriate. And we reestablish safety in your body. We make sure that your body is feeling good, not like it's under a lot of stress, so that it can actually shed the pounds. So that's Ignite. It is a shorter program. It's 30 days. And it definitely includes some of that habit hacking and habit stacking as well. So Transform is 60 days. It's where we go deeper. This is for the woman who's like, I know I've been running on fumes. My hormones are not okay. I am not okay. I need a full system reboot. And so this is where we do everything we do in Ignite, but we incorporate more advanced peptide protocols, personalized strength programs, hormone supportive nutrition, custom macronutrient plans, nervous system regulation work, and deeper habit rewiring than we do in Ignite. And we really focus on my favorite program, which is Elevate. Elevate is my favorite phrase in the world. It's kind of like, okay, now let's make this your new normal. We're elevating the game in every single way. So this tier is about longevity. It's about maintenance without obsession. It's about mitochondrial support through peptides. It is about weight loss, but shedding weight through lipolysis and shedding inflammation, which is really, really important because there is a difference. Sometimes you're just carrying around inflammatory weight and it's not even fat or anything like that. We are fine-tuning your labs. We are focusing on hair, skin, energy, libido, and we are creating a future self strategy. So we're not just asking, how fast can I lose the weight? We're asking, what do I want to do in my 50s, 60s, 70s? And how will my older version of my future self thank me? So that is really what the Supernova energy is all about. I go into a lot more detail about the 3 different programs, but something that I love that is consistent is really finding yourself living a cleaner, more nourishment-focused life with healthier habits. You're just glowing and naturally happy from the inside out for the first time in a long time. So for me, one of the most important parts of all of this is the mental and emotional reset. I want to end by talking about something that doesn't show up in lab work, and it's your relationship with your body. I know I spent years bullying myself and treating my body pretty badly, and you cannot bully yourself into long-term health. You cannot bully yourself into long-term results. If every time you look in the mirror, you silently attack yourself, your nervous system hears that as a threat. So we all know that when we talk to ourselves in a positive way, that means something. And when we talk to ourselves in a negative way, that also means something. And that starts to wire your thoughts and your manifestation of your life. So your body goes into defense mode if you start bullying yourself. And Supernova is about changing the conversation from how do I shrink myself to how do I support myself. It's about remembering that your body has carried you through every hard thing you've ever lived through. It's about learning how to listen again instead of overriding every signal your body sends. And if that feels emotional, it's because it is. So weight loss for women is never just about weight. It's about grief. It's about identity. It's about permission. It's about releasing versions of ourselves that survived and stepping into versions of ourselves that are ready to thrive. I had to find that version of myself to build Supernova, because from what you guys know about me, and if you haven't heard episode 1, check it out. I did have disordered eating. I had really poor confidence. I really was introverted. I was shy. There were so many things that I was ruining, including the relationship with myself and my body, but I was ruining my health because of the way I was eating, how little I was eating. I was torturing myself when it came to the gym to the point of injury. And it took really understanding that I don't want to shrink myself. I want to be healthy for the future of myself, my children, my future grandchildren, and all of that, to create this program for you. This program for you is, I kind of put everything I had into it because I care so deeply about ensuring that women never feel like I felt, because honestly, it felt crummy. It was horrible. And if you go through life that way, nothing good can come of it. So if you're feeling like I was, I would just encourage you to check us out, call me, call a friend, do something about it. Even if it's not with us at Health Collective, it doesn't matter, because you can't go on feeling the way you do and living the way you do in stress, in grief, in anger, in punishment. So before we wrap, let me leave you with 5 things that I want you to remember from this episode right after we take a quick break from our sponsors. Okay, so number 1 takeaway, you are not broken. You are biointelligent. Your body has been doing her best with what she's been given. You cannot expect more, but what you can do is help with solutions. Takeaway number 2 is willpower is not the missing ingredient. Safety, support, and strategy are. It's not about willpower. It's not about eating less. It's not about exercising more. It's about understanding what your body needs in this moment, how your body works in this moment, and strategically, safely, and supportively rewiring a few things. Takeaway number 3, peptides and science are not cheats. Do you think it's a cheat that I give my son insulin in a pump every day to keep him alive? Do men think it's a cheat to take testosterone when they need it? Do diabetics think it's cheating when they have to take insulin? No, none of those are cheats. They're simply tools to keep us alive, to keep us healthy, to keep us thriving. And at the end of the day, peptides and science are not cheats. They're tools in a toolkit. You have to work hard for the life you want, the body you want, the weight loss you want, the mood and mental health that you want. So it's not a cheat, and they're tools, when used responsibly, that help your body do what it was designed to do. And when your body is storming, when your hormones are in an energy storm, your body cannot do what it was designed to do properly. So sometimes we need a tool, not a cheat. And so takeaway number 4 is muscle is your metabolic best friend. It is everywhere right now. Eat your protein, do your strength training. It's everywhere because it's real and meaningful and scientific. And if you want long-term fat loss and energy, strength is not optional. This is to my cardio queens. I am a recovering cardio queen. I need strength. And honestly, now that I've been focused more on strength, I really feel better. I feel more energetic. I love how toned I look, but also I can feel my metabolism working better as well. So focus on muscle, and it will be your metabolic best friend. Takeaway number 5, Supernova is not about turning you into someone else. It is about bringing you back to you with you, the energy, clarity, confidence, and a body that feels like it's at home again. That is the difference. You're not looking to become that skinny person that you're looking up to, or that workout person that you're looking up to, or that corporate boss babe that you're looking up to. You're looking to become the best version of yourself in a body that feels like home, where you are no longer stuck in a cycle of punishing yourself or speaking badly to yourself about yourself, because that is not a thing. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, that's me, I'm ready, I cannot do another day, minute, year like this, I want to invite you to the next step. So you can head to healthcollective.me and go to the next webinar. You can book some time with me on healthcollective.us, the website, or you can simply DM me at Nicole Peckerman or at healthcollective_USA with the word Supernova, and guaranteed I am going to be there for you. And we'll ask you a few questions. We'll make sure you're a good fit and you are ready for change. And if you are, we'll welcome you into the most powerful reset of your life with the most amazing community of women, because your body is not your enemy. She is your greatest asset. And honestly, it's always my honor to help you remember that and to work with you. And honestly, so many of you know that we may start out as clients, but we end up being really, really good friends. I'm Nicole, and this is the Healthy Pod, and I will see you on the next episode, if not sooner. Thanks so much.